Islam and Science for Starters. Mankind, Part 6 of 7. In the name of Allah, the Forgiving, the Merciful. In the Quran, Allah commands us to travel through the earth and see how Allah made creation happen. Surah Al-Ankabut 29, verse 20. This is a command of Allah, and we have to take His command seriously. Most religious people don't really follow Allah's command, although Allah says about mankind, "Indeed, I created mankind as the best of organisms." Surah Al-Tin 95, verse 4. Allah also said 1,400 years ago, if Allah wanted, He could destroy you and appoint in your place people whom He wants as successors, just as He brought you forth from the descendants of other peoples. Surah Al-An'am 6, verse 133. Allah could destroy and replace us any time if He wanted. He also points out that we descend from other peoples. So there have been many different species of mankind before. Scientists call these hominoids, like Homo erectus, Homo habilis, and Homo sapiens are species. All hominoids are one genus or family. Allah created us from clay. Indeed, we created them out of sticky clay. Surah Al-Safat 37, verse 11. We began the creation of humankind from clay. Surah Al-Sajdah 32, verse 7. We created humankind from clay. Surah Al-Hajr 15, verse 26. Clay has all necessary substances for life, mainly carbon and many minerals. We all are carbon-based life forms, and so are animals and plants. Nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen, which Allah also used in the creation of life, are abundant in the air and water on planet Earth. See Surah Al-Anbiya 21, verse 30, and Surah Al-Furqan 25, verse 54. Of course, all these substances are Allah's creations as well. Allah turned people in the past into apes and pigs as a punishment for their sins. We said to them, "Be you apes despised and rejected." Surah Al-Baqarah 2, verse 65. He transformed them into apes and swines, those who worshipped evil. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5, verse 60. Be you apes despised and rejected. Surah Al-Araf 7, verse 166. 97 to 99% of the genes of apes are the same as ours. Around 95% of the genes of pigs are the same as ours also. Both are in many ways exactly like humans. Apes are similar in behavior, and pigs in terms of their inner organs and anatomy. Pigs, apes, and humans are omnivores. Apes and pigs are similar to us in many ways. Apes' brains are similar to ours, and they can do many of the things we can. Pigs' organs are very close to humans, and pigs' hearts can even be transplanted into our bodies to replace our hearts. Eating meat from pigs and apes is forbidden because it is like cannibalism, eating one's own species, and unhealthy. There are all sorts of diseases in it. Ape meat contains HIV and can cause AIDS. Pig meat has many hormones and a lot of urea, so it causes tooth decay, stress, and accelerates the aging process. There are many more reasons for not eating these meats. Pigs are not particularly dirty animals like many Muslims think. They have important roles in the ecosystem, like digging roots and the earth to soften it. We have to protect them, and they belong into the forests and not on farms or on our plates as dinner. Neither should we eat ape meat. There are also new theories in science which we still need to explore. Many of them will be covered by the Quran. There is a new theory in biology that says that apes descend from early hominoids, or their forefathers, Australopithecines, who walked upright like us. This theory would confirm that part of the early hominoids or Australopithecines kept walking upright and were turned into modern humans, and others went back to trees and were turned into apes. Allah said that 1,400 years ago. But this is not proven yet, so we have to study science and explore it. There is also a missing fossil link between monkeys and australopithecines, and some say there is a missing link between apes and hominoids. But still they think we descend from apes and animals. But in fact, apes descend from humans, and humans are a separate creation, as Allah says. Then we developed out of it another creature. Surah Al-Mu'minun 23, verses 12 to 14. There are also new theories in science which we still need to explore. We all descend from Noah's family and companions who were carried on the ark during the big flood. Noah's family descended from Adam's family. But we saved him and the companions of the ark, and we made the ark a sign for all peoples. Surah Al-Ankabut 29, verse 15. We, when the water of Noah's flood overflowed beyond its limits, carried you mankind in the floating ark. Surah Al-Haqqaq 69, verse 11. O you that are sprung from those whom I carried in the ark with Noah. Surah Al-Isra 17, verse 3. Therefore, it could be said that modern man, Homo sapiens, is Noah's tribe, and the early humans or hominoids were Adam's tribe. It has been estimated that the fossilized remains of the ark and modern man are of the same age. Biologists know that there has been a so-called bottleneck before Homo sapiens, modern humans, came about. This means that there were very few hominoids left from whom we all descend. All others were killed. It is also true that hominoids migrated across continents very early, over 1 million years ago. The oldest fossilized Homo sapiens skull is around 150,000 years old. This is the same age as the fossilized ark that has been found on top of Mount Judy. The ark remains were found in Mount Judy, like Allah says in the Quran, and not on Mount Ararat. The ark found was big enough to carry all species of animals, so all present humans descend from the small group of humans around Noah that lived around 150,000 years ago. This can also be proven with latest genetic methods, or mitochondrial DNA. We have to find out if this genetic proof is also possible in animals to establish the flood scientifically. It seems to be the case in many mammals. Finally, as in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 6707, narrated by Abu Huraira, which is in chapter 5 of this series, man, Adam, was created by Allah only very recently, shortly before the end. This confirms the fact that the Homo genus has only appeared around 1 million years ago, whereas planet Earth is 4.5 billion years old. The ark rested on Mount Judy, Surah Hud 11, verse 44. A sign for them is that we created their race through the flood in the loaded ark, Surah Yasin 36, verse 41. Allah created us in different stages inside the wombs of our mothers. The bones develop as cartilage first and are then surrounded by muscles. Only after that the bones become hard. Man we did create from a quintessence of clay, then we placed him as a drop of sperm in a place of rest firmly fixed. Then we made the sperm into a clot of congealed blood. Then of that clot we made a fetus lump. Then we made out of that lump bones and clothed the bones with flesh. Surah Al-Mu'min 23, verse 12 to 14. Created man out of a mere clot of blood. Surah Al-Alaq 96, verse 2. Vertebrate embryos look very similar in the early stages of development. At the end, all of a sudden, the human embryo is suddenly metamorphosized into a completely different being. See Surah Al-Mu'min 23, verse 12 to 13. Allah used earth, clay and water to create us. Seeing that it is He who has created you in diverse stages, and Allah has produced you from the earth growing. Surah Nur 71, verse 14 to 18. He created man from sounding clay like unto pottery. Surah Ar-Rahman 55, verse 14. It is He who has created man from water. Surah Al-Furqan 25, verse 54. There are 3 cell layers between the embryo and the environment, as can be seen when you see a section of the pregnant female. We develop the backbone first and then the ribs. Many organs develop between these two, as can be seen when you see different shots of the development. He makes you in the wombs of your mothers, in stages one after another, in 3 veils of darkness. Surah Az-Zumar 39, verse 6. Now let man but think from what he is created. He is created from a drop emitted, proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs, or from backbone into ribs. Surah At-Tariq 86, verse 5-7. If we look at a cross-section of a pregnant lady, we can see the abdominal wall, the chorion, and the uterus. These are 3 cell layers or 3 veils of darkness. Our central nervous system develops between backbone and ribs, unlike non-vertebrate animals. There are also radial symmetric animals. Worms have different central ganglions, and insects' nervous system is on the tummy side. It is only mammals whose nervous system develops between backbone and rib. If we look at the nerves, we can see that they also sprout from backbone into ribs. Like the intercostal nerves, iliolingual nerves, and subcostal nerves that sprout out of the spinal cord. This is how our central nervous system sprouts out into the rest of our body. Our blood circulation begins between backbone and ribs, namely the heart and the main arteries and veins. For example, the subclavian, hepatic, jugular veins also sprout out from between the backbone and the ribs, where the heart is located. And finally, our sexual organs also develop originally in this place, and it is also the location where the embryo develops inside the mother. Summary. In the Quran, Allah has revealed exact details about the way humans have descended from other people, like hominoids. He also describes therein that some pigs and apes descend from men and not the other way around. Most religious people do not believe in this, although it is written in the Quran. But hominoids were created separately from animals, although their embryological development looks similar. Allah also describes Noah's Ark that rested on Mount Judy after the flood, which is exactly where it was found in a fossilized form. It is furthermore just as old as a modern man, Homo sapiens, approximately 100,000 years. Many scientists don't believe in religion because they think that all religions are against evolution, which isn't true. The Quran says that Allah is the one who made evolution happen. Many scientists believe that man descends from apes and not the other way around, like the Quran says, although there are indications for it. Many religious people don't know that either. The Quran also gives exact descriptions on how we develop inside the wombs of our mothers, and that there are 3 cell layers between us and the environment when we are in there. Our development from backbone towards ribs or in between both is also described in the Quran. The Quran is a revelation from Allah, the Creator. These are only a few of Allah's signs. There are many more. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger. The next book of this series is about the 5 pillars.